So now that we know exactly what this Bronco Raptor is. Since now we know the good and some things about it. For the most part, I think the Bronco Raptor turned out exactly the way I was expecting. In fact, almost all of my predictions were exact, except the powertrain, which I was unsure about. And it's funny because I completely forgot about the 3-liter EcoBoost. So mainly in the video, I just want to talk about kind of what we've seen, how the Bronco is. And I want to talk about some small subjective complaints that I have with the Bronco Raptor and how the aftermarket can possibly fix this. Okay, so starting off, yeah, we got the 3-liter EcoBoost, 10-speed automatic. It does appear that the axles, the whole rear section of the vehicle has been upgraded, which is good, because even the 3-liter EcoBoost is a lot more powerful than the standard 2.7. So it looks like they've definitely beefed up that rear section there, and I'm sure the transfer case and all the same. So it's like they put adequate upgrades to handle the extra power of the 3-liter. So that's good. The suspension definitely is pretty beefy, especially out back. I was pretty impressed with the setup they saw with the suspension system. It looks pretty beefy. It looks like it's going to be pretty capable off-road. I mean, I'm not an off-road enthusiast, and I'm not an off-road aficionado. I don't really know what any of this does. All I know is it looks a lot more beefy than a standard Bronco, which honestly looks pretty wimpy compared. So honestly, this looks like how the Bronco should be anyway. But hey, moving on from that, yes, the interior is exactly the way I thought. You got the steering wheel, it's a little bit sporty with the center stripe. You got the red accents everywhere. I mean, that was a given. That's kind of the formula here for these Raptor versions of these vehicles. It's what they've done since the first F-150 Raptor. I would have doubt they would have strayed away from that too far. They just applied it to the Bronco. So that's cool. That all looked good. I think it looked fine. I think it suited the Bronco well. And in fact, I think it just makes the Bronco more the way the Bronco should be anyway. It really brings out what the Bronco is, right? What it was notorious for. It really does kind of highlight and showcase that. So all in all, yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty cool vehicle. You know, I'm a lot more excited, of course, because it is the performance variant of the Bronco. Of course, I'm a lot more excited for it. It definitely checks off the boxes I would want if I were to go and buy something like that. I actually am pretty happy with what Ford has done. Now, with that said, I do have some complaints. Look, these are subjective. These do not reflect the vehicle in its entirety. This is my personal opinion, and these are my complaints that I have about this Bronco Raptor. Biggest complaint, something I noticed right away. There's a reason for it according to Ford, but it still bugs me so much. Okay, that is those fender flares. Holy crap, they are hideous if you ask me. I wanted to see wider metal. You know, the actual panels wider with a normal size fender flare. You know, those extremely wide, weird looking fender flares don't do it for me. Now, apparently the reason for this is the paint booths apparently at the plant that they produce these in are not wide enough. Like the Bronco as it is without those fender flares is as wide as those paint booths can facilitate. So that sucks. That's kind of disappointing because I really think having those wider fenders would have really just accentuated the aggressiveness that these Raptor vehicles have. Like the F-150 Raptor just looks so much more aggressive than the standard F-150 because of those wider fenders. It ain't the fender flare, it's just the wide, bulky fenders. Here's one thing I hope the aftermarket does come with and offers a solution is, you know, actual wider flares, especially if they can already get them painted. So yeah, they'll probably be expensive, but if you can get actual wider sheet metal up front and out back, because as far as I know, all these panels are removable by a simple nuts and bolts. So it's all this modular panels and stuff. So they should be easily removed. So I don't see why you couldn't easily have a bolt-on, wider fenders to accommodate with a normal flare. I think if the aftermarket can come out with something like that, that'd be awesome. I think they will. Don't think I'm gonna be the only one that complains about this. And it's not a big deal, but it really does suck that they could not actually put wider fenders and they had to take up that additional space with flares. Second complaint, this one's small, also going to be easily remedied by the aftermarket. But it sucks because, the more you can get with the vehicle as you buy it, the better it is, right? If you don't feel compelled to change it, then that's good. It's money you get to save. The exhaust, oh my God, the exhaust is horrible. The EcoBoost engine can sound good. It can. Ford has proved this with the current F-150 Raptor. It sounds awesome. I love that sound. I'm pretty partial to that sound. It sounds like a freaking Ford GT. It sounds good. It sounds what a performance V6 should sound like. Tone they went with on the Bronco Raptor is, I don't know. I don't think it's a sound a lot of people appreciate, including myself. It's a very raspy, high-pitched V6 sound. It sounds almost like a straight six when they're straight piped. That's what it sounds like. And I find it weird that Ford wouldn't try to, do a better solution exhaust wise, considering what they have done with the F-150. So, and just looking at the pictures, the exhaust, the way they have it, it looks like they didn't bother with trying to route it at the back with dual tips. They kind of it's stumped right there in the center of the vehicle, to two turn downs. Now, I'm sure there probably could be some engineering reasons for this, I guess for ground clearance reasons and whatnot. The aftermarket can come out with exhaust system that not only sounds better, but maybe can actually give some tips or something out the back, maybe just accentuate that aggressiveness. That would be better, because let's face it, most of these things are going to be driven on the roads. They're not going to be going off-road. So most people are not going to care about, these departure angles and ground clearance and stuff, for the most part. They're not doing any crazy off-roading. Not to say some won't use them for that. Most people aren't. So now the final, and this is a huge complaint. It's not surprising at all, but it is really a really tough pill to swallow, is the price. The freaking starting price is almost $70,000. Ford, what are you doing, guys? Come on. Even if it was $65,000, that would have been so much better. I mean, $69,000. I know we're splitting hairs here, but $70,000 pretty much by the time you pay your destination fees, all that. Even if you were to walk out the dealership at MSRP and no additional anything, just buying the vehicle and just paying for your taxes and all the other stupid fees involved, you're gonna be $75,000 for a Bronco. It's crazy how expensive it is. And I know what you're saying. Oh, well, the freaking Jeep 392 Wrangler is more than that. Yeah, and I think that is ridiculously overpriced. So, that's not a grand argument there. I don't think these vehicles are worth the money that they're priced at. They're cool, but not that cool. I mean, I think the regular Bronco is expensive in the first place. So of course you have now all the additional modifications to the suspension, the bigger engine, all of the other body work and panel work here in the Bronco Raptor. Is it worth the $20,000 premium to another Bronco? Who knows? I think it really sucks that they started at that. And that's the starting price. So I don't know what other features you can get that would bring the price up. I mean, so you could be $80,000 leaving a dealership in one of these things. And that is assuming you get an MSRP. And that's a whole nother topic for another video, because I doubt anyone's going to get these at MSRP. If you get one of these at MSRP, you are a lucky man and or woman. You better enjoy the crap out of that thing, because I think most people are going to get hit with some sort of a markup. The markups are ridiculous. So it just sucks, because these awesome vehicles are coming out and they're just getting so expensive. So the normal person really does not have a chance to enjoy these vehicles. And that's kind of what it comes down to, and why I get upset about it. Because, you know, you got all these awesome vehicles and only a small section of people, because they're economically, financially limited, can really enjoy them. And it really does suck. So yeah, I mean, all in all, you know, I like the Bronco Raptor. I think it's exactly the way it should be. You know, there's the few small odds and ends that I think the aftermarket will come in and definitely offer a solution for, you know, for people like me who don't like those fender flares. I'm sure there will be replacement fender flares and or replacement panels to, you know, extend the width of those front fenders and rear quarter panels. And I also do know that there's going to be exhaust. Always going to be exhaust. You can definitely count on the aftermarket for exhaust mods. So I know all that stuff will be fixed, and then there's going to be more. It's going to be one of those vehicles where the aftermarket is going to be huge. Definitely a lot more exciting than the current, you know, just regular Bronco, and I think it's definitely something worth being excited about. You know, it's something cool. It's bringing back a name, bringing back the performance side of the Bronco that most people don't really think about. So far, I can say Ford's done a good job. It's got my approval. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with everyone you know if you want to see more content like this and you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for the next true car enthusiast video.